Welcome to Active Sports TV. You are now kicking in and rocking out with your host, Active. I got an explosive episode for y'all in the world of boxing and what other topics to be talking about in the world of boxing other than the mega fight Terence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. You see it in my demeanor. It's going down. I pulled out the gear because it's about that time. You already know what this means. It don't need to be talked about. It's about that time. We gonna come through on Canelo Alvarez and snatch all them belts, man. 3-time undisputed 5 divisional champ is a coming. Now, if you into this type of content, man, all of the Active Battalion, yo, subscribers, new viewers, appreciate y'all. Y'all subscribing, hitting the thumbs up. It's wonderful for the channel. This channel is absolutely nothing without y'all. It keeps me pushing that content. So, if you liking boxing content or different genres of sports content, pull up a chair, subscribe to the channel. Will not regret this decision. Now, gotta give you the content. Can't leave hanging. It's going down. Kill the music. No more music needs to be said. It's time to get serious. 14 days left, y'all, before the biggest fight in boxing takes place. Shout out to both fighters, Canelo Alvarez, Terence Bud Crawford, for keeping the tradition of boxing in the forefront of the sport. In today's time, in this era of boxing, it is coming very far in between that we have throwback fighters, warrior hearts, that's willing to put it all on the line and give the fighting fans like myself what we've been asking for. Now, with that being said, much praise to both fighters, both fan bases. I'll just ask that both fan bases be respectful in the community. Hash out your grievances. It's all good in Active Hood. All I ask y'all to do is keep it respectful. Kids, mamas, all that out off limits. Be men, be women. That's all that I ask. Let's have fun. Let's get into this boxing content. We got a mega fight, and let's enjoy this right here, shall we? Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. You hear all the hot topics. I know some of your big boxing YouTube channels already have covered it, but they ain't covered it such as Active on Active Sports TV. We do it in a different way, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a different perspective. Now, I ain't going to hold you. This fight right here is a lot on the line for both fighters. Terence Bud Crawford, he could have did it the easy route, coast, beating all of the champions that basically was at 154, could have stayed at 147 and just completely held that position at a complete hope and kept all 4 belts and demolished all of the champions that's currently holding belts currently right now, because we already know Brian Norman, now that Jerron Boots Ennis left the division, Mario Barrios, listen, I don't have to get into that. Should I have to explain how Terence Bud Crawford would have had still been unified, undisputed champion at 147? So moving on from then, he challenged himself, being the world-class fighter that he is, against another pound-for-pound great, first Valley Hall of Famer, and Canelo Alvarez, someone who has fought Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. This man has been, at the pinnacle of boxing forever now. I mean, the face, many will say, for close to approaching a decade after Floyd Mayweather retired. Canelo Alvarez has a lot to lose himself. We all know Canelo Alvarez has avoided David Benavidez. That's a big fight that a lot of boxing fans demand before He hangs up the gloves. They feel that that fight is long overdue. For about 4 to 5 years, 5 years or so overdue. So that is a stain already on Canelo Alvarez's resume, but he can rectify that. Win, lose, or draw versus Terence Bud Crawford. This just, catapults him in another category when it comes to the greats in boxing if he's able to pull off this win versus Terence Bud Crawford, which I highly, highly, highly doubt. Let me add. Now, we all know, that Terence Bud Crawford moving up 3 weight classes, attempting to fight Canelo Alvarez is out of this world crazy. Like we ain't never seen nobody do this. This is why many people is picking against Terence Bud Crawford. They are solely picking against him on the fact that it's never been done before, that they feel that the smaller fighter can't beat the bigger fighter, and they're giving Canelo Alvarez this huge edge in power, and just the weight factor being more so weighing on the factor of the fight that leans towards Canelo being the favorite in this up and coming bout, 14 days wait. But I feel like a lot of people are hoping and wishing that everything goes right, because that's exactly what had to happen. Canelo Alvarez will happen to be turning back the clock, showing us something that he hasn't shown us in his last 5 fights. We're going to get into that. Y'all bear with me. And we're going to go into Terence Bud Crawford last 5 fights. But the last few performances out of Canelo Alvarez have been short of amazing. They have been quite, quite awful. Some will say that in many of his fights, it can be debated who have won. When it came to the first Triple G Canelo fight, many thought Triple G beat Canelo Alvarez. When it came to the Anzali Lara fight versus Canelo Alvarez, many people thought that Lara won over Canelo Alvarez. And we do know that he has lost to Dimitri Bivol, and he has also lost to Floyd Mayweather. So this man has, major, major dents in his armor, has already tasted defeat, and it's hard to hold that hunger and that drive to want to still be the best over all these years. You gotta understand, Canelo has been at the top for quite some time. So more so with him carrying his country on his back, doing a huge, huge favor for Mexico, putting the spotlight on his country. All that is to be much praised. But realistically, mano y mano, Terence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, who has more tools equipped in the toolbox? Let's just get to the meat and potatoes, shall we? Canelo Alvarez is not as fast as Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo Alvarez doesn't have the same competitive drive nor hunger as Terence Bud Crawford. Yes, Canelo Alvarez has fought the bigger fighter, but he has not been fighting the best opposition. Therefore, pointing to him avoiding David Benavidez, who we just spoken of for the last 5 years, avoiding Jamal Charlo, who has still haven't gotten a fight from Canelo Alvarez, who have been mandatories for Canelo Alvarez for years now. And you cannot forget Boo Boo Demetrius Andrade, who also was highly avoiding and never to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez. And in doing so, the opposition that Canelo Alvarez decided to take on in avoiding that opposition in Charlo, Andrade, and and David Benavidez, he didn't fight Jaime McGill, someone who has also never fought the likes of those good, great champions in his respective divisions, similar to Canelo Alvarez, who proved nothing at the time to even get the opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez. But Canelo does what he wants to because he's the face of boxing, the politics of boxing supported. So he happens to skate on by and avoid the best opposition, best competition, I mean, in his weight class, which was the fighters just mentioned of his picking, Charlo, Andrade, or Benavidez. And this goes back to the third fight with Triple G. So all of Canelo's latest fights, he has not been challenged nor pushed in any way like he will be pushed September 13th at the Allegiant Stadium against Terence Bud Crawford. I can bet you that. I can bet you that. He don't know nothing about what he's about to get into. Listen, John Ryder can't prepare you for Bud. Jaime McGee can't prepare you for Bud. William Skoll can't compare you for Bud. Triple G, these are all Canelo last 5 fights. And Jamel Charlo, Little Charlo, the 154-pound ex-unified champion Charlo, the one that was not the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. See, they're twins. If boxing fans, if you're not aware, and to new viewers, it's a bigger Charlo and Jamal Charlo, who was the respected mandatory for Canelo Alvarez, who was avoided, and then it was Jamel Charlo, who was not even in his weight division, who was not even in boxing fans' knowledge, even campaigning to fight Canelo Alvarez. That was a complete cherry pick that Jamel Charlo let boxing fans down on when he didn't come at his best and didn't put up the best performance he could have versus Canelo Alvarez. But no, the littler fighter in Jamel Charlo moving up from 2 weight classes, from 154 to 168, did not get knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. Matter of fact, Canelo Alvarez last 5 opponents, he did not get any KO victory. Why is that, you ask? Active. Why is it that we have a 5-year streak? Because Canelo fight 2 or 3 times a year. So we'll say a 2-year. Now I know since Caleb Plant, we haven't seen a knockout since Caleb Plant. That's 4.5 years back. We have not seen Canelo Alvarez in 4 years on a 5-fight streak, not been able to stop nor TKO his opponent in any of those bouts. And we're talking about C-class fighters. Let me give you the names again, because this is not the cream of the crop. This was not the mandatory, such as David Benavidez, that he got these victories over. No. If the boxing world tells you something different, they're lies. They're telling you false tales. No. Canelo Alvarez was supposed to fight David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, or Bubi Andrade to further max his legacy, to put him on Mount Everest when the greats in boxing. He chose another route. He chose Triple G, who was also on his duck goose tip, avoiding all of those fighters just mentioned, on a 2-year hiatus, long overdue for retirement, and still cannot stop Triple G in a 2-year, 3-year layoff. And you expect me to believe he's going to stop prime machine Terence Bud Crawford? You must be crazy. You got to be slow. If you believe that, then you believe in the Tooth Fairy. You believe in Santa Claus. Ain't no way. I rewatched Demetrius Bivol versus Canelo Alvarez, and after the third round, Canelo Alvarez was completely gassed. Now, everybody want to point to the fact that Canelo Alvarez, by the shoulder punches, is going to wear Terence Bud Crawford down. Him feeling that power, Ask me, please ask me, where was the power the last 5 fights? Because Jaime McGinn got knocked out right after he fought Canelo Alvarez. Edgar Berlanga got knocked out right after he fought Canelo Alvarez against lower tier fighters. So make it make sense to me. I'm just trying to put the puzzle together and let y'all see it for yourself. This is a myth of what Canelo Alvarez is speaking, fans are speaking of. I believe this is a myth. This is something that they are hoping that he's able to possess that night. So that what they're believing and hoping in is that everything goes right for Canelo Alvarez and everything goes wrong. But I'm gonna tell you, it's many more ways that Terence Bud Crawford can win this fight. Let's get to the first. Endurance, stamina. Terence Bud Crawford will be the fresher and also be the fighter that will be able to have the better conditioning throughout the fight. We know this. He's the better boxer. The complete overall boxer goes to Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo Alvarez throws 1 or 2 punches at a time, very slow-footed. Terence Bud Crawford has amazing feet work, head movement, countering ability. A complete fighter can make adjustments on the fly, a switch hitter, orthodox, southpaw, whenever feel fit. Had a 7-year knockout streak. Knocked out everyone that he fought at 147. Let me tell you that one more time. Dominated at 147. Every opponent by KO at 147. Held off Israel Mandalov, one of the most avoided fighters at 154 before Terence Bud Crawford got there. Beating him up, marking his face up, bruising him up for 12 rounds, destroying him, killing the body, wearing him down. Israel Mandalov was feeling the power at 154. He didn't want to walk through it. He was able to survive. He was able to stop the knockout streak. But nonetheless, masterclass performance by Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford can outbox Canelo. I believe he can outdog Canelo. It ain't no doubt about it. When it comes to someone get punched in the mouth, who gonna do something about it? You asking who gonna do? You question Bud. When it comes to that, you giving Canelo the edge over Terence Bud Crawford when it comes to that. We all know who got the most dog in him. We all know who gets stronger as the fight continues to go. In the later rounds, Terence Bud Crawford will be more fresher, more dangerous than Canelo Alvarez. The better jab, better footwork, better endurance. And as of the last 5 fights, have been fighting the best competition, at least fighting fighters with purpose, who's actually coming in there to win. Like the Earl Spence Jr. trying to hold on to 3 titles that was snatched from him. Now he was the victim of Terence Bud Crawford. Sean Porter trying to stay relevant in the sport of boxing, only to be discouraged, a Hall of Famer, and retired by Terence Bud Crawford, to be knocked out well, TKO by Terence Bud Crawford. Kell Brook, the same. These fighters are arguably Hall of Famers in their own right. Earl Spence for sure, Sean Porter for sure, Kell Brook questionable, but great fighter nonetheless. Destroyed, all KO, demolished by the smaller fighter, Terence Bud Crawford. You forgot this man has carried this power from 135 all the way up to 154. And y'all got the audacity to ask, is Terence Bud Crawford power going to travel up to 168 and be able to hurt Canelo Alvarez? Let this be noted. Terence Bud Crawford don't have to hurt Canelo Alvarez to beat Canelo Alvarez. It's already been proven. Did Floyd hurt Canelo Alvarez to beat him? No. Did Demetrius Bivol hurt Canelo Alvarez? Yeah, a few times in the fight. But he didn't hurt him noticeably where he took a 10 count or he had to recover from something. No. They outsmarted Canelo Alvarez, and we know who the smarter fighter is, and Terence Bud Crawford. The IQ, I don't believe can be even questioned. Canelo Alvarez have literally one way to win this fight. Hope Terence Bud Crawford becomes old overnight. He can rely on Terence Bud Crawford being completely still, and he landing a vicious blow that no one seen coming, knocking Terence Bud Crawford completely out. But in no way, shape, or form do I see Canelo Alvarez outboxing Terence Bud Crawford. He will not land more jabs. He will not be the more active fighter throwing more punches. He will not be the bigger man in the ring. Terence Bud Crawford will prove all of that September 13th. But we got more and more to come. We will be breaking down everything that comes out as they make their way to Vegas. Terence Bud Crawford, having this parade over in Omaha, Nebraska. They getting ready to send off the champ, the future 3-time undisputed champ, five-time divisional champ, future champ. And Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez is due to do the same. Javon Boots Ennis joining Canelo Alvarez camp. A lot of people making a lot out of it. I believe it does nothing for this fight. If anything, it goes against Team Alvarez. I will tell y'all in another episode my breakdown on that. I believe that Javon Boots Ennis may contribute to Canelo Alvarez's downfall with the beating he may be taking in sparring with the Boots, the big brother in Boots, and also Jerron Boots Ennis. We already know Bozy is picking against Team Alvarez, so it kind of seems weird for Team Alvarez. It seems like a desperate move. It seems like it was just something that they needed to do to try to swing something over and they on their side of things, get the momentum going their way, because as of now, a lot of people is putting it out there that this fight is closer than they once, thought it was, and originally thinking when they first originally heard this fight was gonna take place. So with all that being said, man, it's your boy Active. This has been a wonderful episode. Just me breaking it down to y'all, giving you my opinion. We 14 days out, y'all. Terence Bud Crawford will be conquering greatness. Then we'll be there to cover it all. Y'all get ready for the fight party. We will be having an exclusive fight party, man. I'll be, going live that particular day, that night. You know what I mean? So y'all get a real exclusive episode from me. So tune in up until this point. We're going to be kicking these episodes out. Also, enjoy the short content that we got over there for y'all. We're kicking that as well, keeping this fight out there in the faces of boxing fans. So if you haven't done already, the Active Battalion, y'all already know what to do, how we get up out of here. Salute to y'all and stay activated. hit the subscribe button up. I went on the way up out of here. Hit the thumbs up. We up out of here. Deuces.